All right, so up next we see AJ Lee skipping backstage, and she stops and smiles at Paige, and then they head to the ring together. So we have a tag team match, AJ and Paige versus Emma and Natalia. Now, going into this, all I could think was, why are we having four baby faces going against each other? This makes no sense.
And then I answered you because one of them is turning heel. So we would see if that would pan out, because in the context of this match, everybody seemed like they were getting along. Emma had a little back and forth with AJ at first. Then Paige got the tag at one point, and I marked, because these two have such an extensive history on NXT over the NXT Women's Championship. Emma caught Paige in the dilemma, and so that was an awesome moment. Tags in Natalia. Natalia pretty much takes Paige to school. Even nailed a German suplex at one point. Locks in the sharpshooter. And I thought this was a cool moment in the match, because rather than going for the ropes, Paige crawls over to AJ and she makes the tag while she's in the submission.
Yeah.
Natalia doesn't see it, so AJ runs the ropes and she hits the Shining Wizard on Natalia. I thought that spot looked great.
Yeah.
And she ends up pinning Natalia. So yeah, AJ and Paige win.
AJ and Paige win, and you know what, John? I am going to let you take it from here as far as what happened after this match, because you saw it coming this whole time. I mean, we both saw it coming, but I feel like you were really ESPN about this.
Yeah, I mean, Paige calls AJ back into the ring. She's like, "Come on, let's celebrate together." Because everybody knows this isn't going to go anywhere. And they raise hands, and AJ's about to walk away again when Paige pulls her by the hair down to the ground. And then commentary tries to stall the shock. Oh my god! Yeah, because they were really exchanging Christmas cards. Get over yourselves. So Paige really put in the boots to AJ. She threw her out of the ring, screaming to her, "I told you this was my house!" And grabs AJ again, throws her into the steel post, her face pretty much eating the steel. I thought that was great. Then she picks her up again, throws her over the announce table, pretty much smacks on the announce table and says, "My house!" And so that's going to be AJ's thing, I guess. Or Paige's thing, rather. That's going to be her equivalent to Mark Henry. "That's what I do!" So they give a replay of it. Cole's asking AJ if she's okay. He's asking for help to come down, trying to tell that AJ was really badly hurt. And as Paige is walking up the ramp, she's just telling people, "I told her this was my house. I'm the champion." And she motions for the championship belt. So it looks like we're going to be seeing this again at SummerSlam. They even, at Battleground Fallout, AJ compared those two to like two gunslingers. She still didn't feel like their business was finished. Even though she got the win, she said they were pretty even. And, Paige is still, of course, keeping up the whole friend angle. So now we're really going to find out who the better women's wrestler is at SummerSlam. I'm very much looking forward to this bout.
Let me ask you a question, John.
Sure.
How many Divas matches do you see happening at SummerSlam, including the kickoff show?
3.
I agree. How crazy is that to think about, though?
That's insane to think about. Women going to get some major shine at SummerSlam, and that is amazing to me.
It really is.
Especially the, Brie versus Stephanie, especially, and, a worthwhile Divas Championship match.
Yep.
I mean, that just, and because I fully expect, because in case you were wondering, guys, the third match we're thinking of is Naomi Cameron too, and I fully expect Naomi to go over in that match. So, really, a great night for WWE Women's Wrestling all around.
Yeah. I mean, really, it could set the table for a really long run. You have AJ and Paige, which they're like 26 or 27 and 21 and soon going to be 22 respectively. And then you have Naomi. And honestly, I'm going to go there. I think Brie is going to be a part of the Divas division for a long freaking time, especially with as over as she's going to be after this match and storyline is over.
This whole feud with Stephanie, I think, is designed to make Brie quite literally the baby face of the division. And I think it's succeeding, even if it's just because Daniel Bryan's wife, which I'm hoping that's not the whole reason, because I like what they're doing with Brie as an individual, standing up for herself and for those she cares about. This is going to do wonders for Brie. Could do wonders for Nikki if she executes that heel turn that you and I have been predicting. So yeah, the division I think is looking a lot more interesting from where we're sitting, given everything that WWE is doing at the moment.
Dude, here's the crazy thing. Last year at SummerSlam, The Divas title wasn't even on the show. The only Divas match we had was Natalya versus Brie Bella, and the match barely made it over 4 minutes.
And now this year, we've got 3, count them, 3 Divas matches more than likely happening.
And combined, they're probably going to get near the 20-25 minute mark.
Yeah, because I don't know how much time Brie and Stephanie is expected to get, but either that match or AJ and Paige is going to get a nice amount of time.
I think they might both. I mean, I think AJ and Paige is going to be like maybe like a 10-minute thing, but I think honestly, dude, I could see Stephanie versus Brie being like what we got with Vince McMahon versus Bret Hart a few years ago at WrestleMania, where even though going into it, it doesn't really look like it's going to be that much of a match, but because McMahon is involved, they end up making a spectacle out of it, and it gets a lot of time. I could totally see that happening. I could see those 2 matches getting a combined 25 minutes by themselves, and then toss in the fact that we're getting Naomi Cameron, and most likely on the pre-show, that might get another 10 minutes. So we might be looking at 35 minutes worth of Divas matches at SummerSlam.
Crazy to think about, man. Crazy to think about.
It's amazing, dude. I love it.
Absolutely. This is where I've wanted the women's division in WWE to get. And combine that with the fact that great things, I think, are happening on NXT as well with the NXT Women's Championship division.
Yeah.
Females are...
Charlotte versus Summer this Thursday.
Exactly. Good times, man. Good times.
Oh, man. All right, dude. So up next, we had Fandango versus Zack Ryder, who actually gets an entrance, and not only an entrance, but he gets to make his entrance with Summer Rae and Layla at his sides.
I'm going to be mature about this.
Are you?
So here is my review.
Does the review include the sigh?
Yeah, that was the review, was the sigh. I am in pain. I am in pain. Oh, God, this is awful. It's bad enough that Zack Ryder gets to come out with 2 talented and beautiful women who could do so much better. But he wins. And he doesn't even win clean. I don't want anybody to tell me he won clean, because they had a back and forth. Looked like Fandango was going to win it after Zack Ryder misses a drop kick. But then Zack Ryder turns the tables. A few seconds later, he gets the Rough Rider. Well, guess what, people? Fandango had his foot on the rope.
I thought it was the Zack attack.
Oh, what? Who? Does anybody really care?
What is the Zack attack? I feel like that's been a thing before.
Well, wait, hold on. Maybe that's what he used to call it, but then he changed it to the Rough Rider.
Yeah, because you're totally right. It is the Rough Rider now, because, I mean, that means I botched, because I think it was last week on TwitWow I referred to that move when Ziggler did it as the Zack attack.
Right. And, you know, Layla just moves Fandango's foot off the rope, and that's the 3 count. So way to go, Zack. Way to go. You finally get out of catering. You finally get out of that hole that you belonged in the first place, and you win your first match pretty much like a heel. You know what? Why don't you go get in a wheelchair and have Kane push you off the stage again, you jerk?
I'm surprised they didn't put him in a match with John Cena tonight, considering the fact that John Cena stole his girlfriend.
Yeah, pretty much. Do you have anything to say about this match?
Not really. The post-match celebration was pretty hilarious, though.
Yeah, pretty much just laying smooches all over Zack Ryder's face. I'm sure if he's, you know, doing his web show for the 5,000th time, this will be a nice inaugural episode to talk about his victory. So, great job there, Zack.
He does have a web show still, doesn't he? Zack Ryder's Last Resort, that's what it is. I was almost going to say Last Stand. Thank you for saving me from looking like an idiot.
Right. You're welcome. And I think he was either he was discontinuing that show, or he's just really fallen behind with interest on it, because I think he kept saying he was going to put an episode out, but then he never did. Well, guess what, Zack? You finally have content. You'll finally get something in the library of the WWE Network, because, Lord knows, nobody probably watches your stuff now. So, yeah, I'm pretty much done.
Yeah, this will be on the WWE Network in like 2 or 3 months, and Zack Ryder's just going to spend all of his nights jerking off to it.
And it'll be because, look, I was relevant here. There's a chance for me. There's a chance for me. Aww.
And then I got kissed by 2 lovely ladies.
Yeah, that too. But he's just going to so focus on the fact that he actually got a win on Raw.
Yeah. Can we just take a split second here to acknowledge the fact, though, that Zack Ryder's last Raw win was on the 18th of December, 2012. It's been 581 days.
Not long enough. Well, I don't think he'll be on Raw next week anyway, so it doesn't matter.
No, definitely not, which is what makes it all the more hilarious. So, up next, we had a backstage thing, Renee Young with Flo Rida. She welcomes him back to the WWE. He jokes that Triple H might be so impressed with his performance tonight that he might get the title shot. Heath Slater walks up out of nowhere and asks if he remembers him. Flo Rida says he doesn't, and Heath says, well, at WrestleMania 28, you put your hands on me, and I'm here to return the favor. And he shoves him, and then Flo Rida shoves him so hard that he ends up crashing into the set. So Heath Slater even bumps for Flo Rida, and he eliminated Cesaro last night.
Thank you for the complimentary salt and wound, Ashton. I greatly appreciate it.
I just felt like you weren't salty enough already, John.
Well, again, I appreciate it. So, yeah, Flo Rida cuts his promo. He tries his hand at comedy. I didn't laugh. And so the concert was next, right, after this?